Здравствуйте, my fair weather friends. This episode of Kachimoochi's Game and Spooks is Hit to Kill by Trashbinrat. This story, like many of my favorite creepypastas, is one that isn't based in myth, but based in reality. This is a story that many of you may not be able to relate to, but some in this world may face every day of their lives. The story is about a victim of circumstance who pays the ultimate price. Let us begin. After the initial impact, you were sent flying. You could feel your head hit hard against the unforgiving concrete. Your arms, which you were trying to protect your face with, broke and cracked as your weight smashed against them. Something large, something powerful must have hit you, must have sent you flying. You don't even realize what has happened for a bit. A sudden impact, and your sight left you for a moment or two. You hear deafening noises and feel pressure and pain everywhere as your body slams repeatedly into the hard ground. You try to reach for your phone, only to realize that your arms won't respond or move. Your phone lies a mere arm's length away from you, shattered. Forcing your head up, pushing yourself through a great deal of pain, you can see a car rolling to a stop in front of you. The car is damaged, though you can't see where, and the driver seems to stop in the middle of the road, contemplating something. Your brain doesn't really seem to be working as well as usual. Your thoughts are slow and clouded, but you realize that a car hit you. His car. He hit you. You try and lift your head to beg the driver for help. He doesn't respond to you. You're not even sure if he can hear you. You hear him talking to another person off in the distance. Hold on, honey. Yes, I'll be home for dinner, I think. I tapped something. I just have to make sure. How can he be so casual about this? You expect he'll call emergency services. You think you'll hear him dialing an ambulance next and running over to beg forgiveness and make sure you're okay. Tapped something, you think to yourself. This maniac could have killed me. How reckless could he be? Talking on his cell phone while driving? Hitting and almost killing a pedestrian? He'd better have an amazing lawyer. He should be glad if he doesn't spend the rest of his life in prison for this. Why hasn't he dialed the police or an ambulance yet? These thoughts continue to race through your head. He doesn't dial any emergency services. Instead, you hear his truck's engine begin to turn as the red lights from his tail end begin to pull away off into the darkness. He can't just leave me here, you think to yourself. I have a life, friends, a family. They'll be looking for me. The police will... An awful thought forces its way into your head. It suddenly occurs to you that you didn't tell anyone where you were going. You came out here while jogging to try and be alone. You picked this area especially for its remoteness. You were so tired of dealing with everyone, and you needed to get away. The police around here wouldn't look for long, and even if they did find something, they wouldn't know where to start. You realize how cold and quiet it is. You can hear the animals in the woods, scavengers and insects. They'll come out of the woods soon. They'll be drawn by the scent. You come to the shocking realization of just how remote this area, this stretch of road is. That there's a good possibility you might be torn apart or die from exposure. Even if someone does find you, emergency services are slow in your country at best. Many times, they would just consider someone in your condition a lost cause. You look off as far as you can, and there's absolutely no other lights you can see, save for the taillights that are steadily driving away from you. He stops about 100 yards or so and idles for a minute. You can hear the exhaust puttering. You can see the steam rising off the muffler, mixing with the smoke and the dim red brake lights refracting from the swirling clouds. He throws the car into reverse. Oh, thank God, you think. Maybe he changed his mind. You swear to whatever deity is listening that if he just does the right thing and gets you the help you need, You won't press any charges. You're just so glad he isn't leaving you out for dead on this deserted black road. You force out a slight smile towards him. He continues to back up towards you. Though everything is slowed due to the adrenaline rushing through your body, you can tell his speed is steadily increasing. You realize what he's trying to do, and you desperately try to move out of the way. But no matter how hard you try, your body just won't respond. You try to scream, but your throat only forces out a near inaudible whisper. You brace yourself, knowing there's no way you can move. You feel the vehicle's crushing weight as it rolls over and rips through you. Bones splinter, muscle and veins burst under the sheer weight. The skin and fat shreds from your torso. You cannot scream, though your body instinctively tries to. You barely have the strength in your lungs to even force out a whisper. Your vision is steadily darkening as the red blood vessels covering your face and eyes have burst. You lose focus, and it is becoming very painful to keep your eyes open. You hear the phone call. In a half-hearted, endearing voice, he says, "I love you too, honey. Yes, yes. I just gotta take care of something real quick. I'll be home soon. I love you too, babe. Bye." The car starts rolling forward again. There is talk of an unwritten law in some countries where overpopulation and healthcare are an issue. That if you hit a pedestrian, you hit to kill. In these countries, it is said that if you injure someone while driving, you are responsible for their medical bills for the remainder of their life. If, however, they are killed, you are instead only given a one-time fine. This has been said to lead many reckless or drunk drivers to come back and finish off many a helpless and injured pedestrian. The end. I can't speak for those who listen to this, but I find this quite a chilling tale. I believe that this story was meant to be set in countries where things like health insurance or car insurance are not as widespread as they are in Western countries, leading to many people not having them. And if indeed they don't have insurance, that would mean any damages or injuries would need to be paid out of their pocket, which, as you can well imagine, for those who can't afford, isn't ideal. As morally gray as it may seem, if such a person was faced with paying someone's bills for the rest of their life, or just by ending a life they don't even know, it makes you wonder. It just makes you wonder. I've often heard stories like in China or India, where ordinarily elder people would stand right beside highways and try to jump in front of cars to intentionally injure themselves. Being that such countries often place a great amount of status into the elderly, they are believed almost 100% of the time, leading for the person who hit them, accidentally or otherwise, to pay for all their bills. I cannot say that I've ever heard of a country with a health system in which people who hit others with a car, accidentally or otherwise, are required to pay their health bills for the rest of their lives. I have heard that the victim would get preferential treatment in legal cases, but nothing as extreme as having to be compensated for, essentially, their entire life. I assumed it was added to the story for dramatic effect, and I must say, it was definitely chilling. Mind you, that isn't a guarantee that just because one lives in a Western society, they are safe. If a person in the middle of nowhere gets hit by a car, also in the middle of nowhere, there's no way to know if the perpetrator would take advantage of the situation. The way I see it, everybody in this world goes a little crazy sometimes. I suppose in the end, all we can do is watch our sixes and tell people where we go before we go jogging. Once more, this was Hit to Kill by Trashbinrat. Check out the story in the link below. And if indeed you enjoyed my admittedly amateurish narration, why not leave a comment or subscribe to my channel? And that's about all I have to say about that. Farewell.